Hey y'all, this is Dietra D, and welcome to another episode of the Dietra D Show. I apologize in advance for any sounds you guys may hear in the background. So, this morning I am going to be talking about dating apps. That came to mind because I watched this Lifetime movie. I know y'all are familiar with those ladies. I watched this Lifetime movie Saturday called The Dating App Killer, the Monica White story. If I tell you that sent chills down my back, because even your girl here, I tried dating apps at the request of a friend at one time. When I tell you I was not on those apps long, they sent me screaming into the night. Ladies, there are so many boys on these apps masquerading as men. I could give you a laundry list, but y'all need to be careful. Now, first, let me tell you a little bit more about this movie. In real life, they called him the shopping cart killer because he would meet these women on this dating app. Now, of course, he was feeding them lies. Of course, he was feeding them lies on the app. So, when he would go and meet these women at a restaurant or a bar or a pool hall, wherever they would meet, and he would take them back to whatever little seedy motel was in their area, and he would kill them by strangling them, and then he would place their dead bodies in a shopping cart. And so he continued doing this after he had met this particular woman, Monica White, on this app. After they communicated on the site for a couple of weeks, they decided to meet. So he got on the bus and traveled to meet her. She went and picked him up at the bus station. They went out for a bite to eat and a few drinks. And after she kissed him goodnight, he went on his way that first night. When he got back to his state, it never really showed in the movie, where he lived. It just always showed him in the dark in a room sitting behind his laptop, on this particular dating app, looking for his victims. So fast forward to the next time he rode the bus to meet her. Now he's telling her that he was so excited to meet her that he forgot to book him a hotel room and, blah, blah, blah. Oh, rewind a little bit. His profession was a garbage man, and there's nothing wrong with being a garbage man, but just thought I'd throw that in there. So eventually his boss fired him because he was always missing work. I guess because, he was so busy out there killing. So he lost that job. Now, back to the second trip on the bus to when he went to meet Monica White. So he's telling her that he was so excited that he forgot to book himself a hotel room, blah, blah, blah. And he asked her if he can stay at her house. Now, I have no idea what convinced her to say yes, but she said yes and told him that he could sleep on her couch, which he did. Fast forward, they continue their so-called relationship. And remember, he's gotten fired from his job, so he has no job. So she invites him to her birthday party. He brings her this gold necklace that he took off his latest victim that he strangled, gave it to her for a birthday gift. They have sex for the first time, and you could tell in the movie by the look on her face, it was awful. She's laying up there in bed next to him. He's laying up there with a smile on his stupid, crazy face, and she's laying up there with a look of disgust on her face, like she's ready to throw up at any second. And she also said he peed in her bed. So, fast forward some more. Her and her friend are sitting in her living room drinking some coffee, and they see this news report of the shopping cart killer, and they found his latest victim. At this point, they had not, they didn't have a picture or any more information. They had just found 4 or 5 bodies. I think this was like the 5th dead body they had found. So, of course, it doesn't take long for his craziness and weirdness to come out. So she kicks him out of the house and calls her girlfriend. And that's something I'll never understand. When you're scared or in danger, why do you call everybody except 911? I just don't get that. But anyway, she kicked him out of the house, called her girlfriend. Her girlfriend, who was smart, and she called the cops because her girlfriend arrived shortly after, and she came with the police. And it was then, when the police showed up, by this time, they had found his information, and they told her that who he was, and that they had found her name and all of her information in his laptop, wherever it was that he was staying. So, fast forward some more, he's arrested. And at this current time, he's still sitting, I think it's a Pennsylvania jail, waiting for his trial. So, now that I've told you that story, let me give you a few of my experiences on the dating app. And like I told you before, I was not on them long because these guys are crazy. You got all kind of weirdos on these sites, ladies. Weirdos with mommy issues, narcissists. And I hate to scare you, but I do believe that there are a whole bunch of potential killers on these sites, because some of these men, they're just weird. And they're on these sites looking for a place to stay, somebody to abuse, somebody to control, somebody to be their mommy. It's just, ooh. Oh, the first thing that comes to mind, this is true, I kid you not, ladies. This one site that I was on, my hand to God, this is exactly what this guy had written on his profile. He was a white guy. He said on his profile, and there was not a lot on there, but what was on there was this: just got out of jail, looking for a nice lady to move in with to get back up on my feet. I kid you not. That is exactly what he had on his profile. That had me on the floor laughing. I'm like, are you serious? And it's not funny, but there, unfortunately, was probably some desperate woman out there that took him in. Aw, he's probably a good guy. I'll invite him to sleep on my couch and help him get back up on his feet. Now, come on, ladies. You know that there are some women out there that are just that desperate. I know I'm not the only one that knows that. So, I think I never met anybody in person because I always told myself I would have to talk, we would have to, message online for, I think I told myself a month, because I'm not just going to up and meet somebody in person that I met off of a site. No, But it never got that far because, like I told you at the beginning, it never takes some of these guys, well, most of them, it never takes them long to show their true colors, even online. So, this first guy I'm going to tell y'all about, he was, I think he was in his 60s. And yes, ladies, it's not just the young guys. It's a lot of these older guys that are just as ignorant. So I think this first guy was in his 60s, if I remember correctly. He was out of, what was it? I don't remember the city, but I think it was California. And so we had messaged for, I think, about maybe a week. And so after talking, I think for about a week on the site, he asked if he could call. So, sure. I always have my regular phone number, and then I have a Google Voice number. So I called him from my Google Voice number. Do you know this old fool, within 5 minutes of the conversation starting, this fool pretty much told me his whole life story. And I'm sitting up here listening to him because, with me being me, even though I can be extremely blunt, I really try not to be rude, but at 53 years old, at that time I think I was, 51? Yeah, I think I was 51, because this was like just a few years ago. So, I remember I told him, after he finally shut up, I was like, whew, that was a lot of information. This fool shoots back. Well, you asked, and so I shot back at him. I'm like, well, actually, I didn't ask for your life story. You volunteered the information. And then after I said that, I hung up. I'm like, nobody wants to hear your life story. You don't even know me. We haven't even met in person, and you're telling me your whole life story. You're telling me about your twin brother. And what else did he tell me? He mentioned something about his mama. I can't remember what it was. So that was that one. And then I remember another guy. I can't remember how old he was, but he wanted to talk on the phone. I think we had been messaging for like 2 weeks. So he wanted to talk. So I agreed, but I told him I could not talk to him on this particular day. This idiot has the nerve to get mad. So he sends me, after I told him that I couldn't talk that day, he sends me a message a few minutes after I had sent mine. So that means he was, he was waiting on a response. So he sends me a message back almost immediately after I sent my message, letting him know that I wasn't able to talk that day. And what did he say? Something like, "Oh, I knew you weren't serious. I'm so tired of these women." I think he said, "I'm so tired of these women playing games," something like that. And I couldn't do anything but laugh. I'm like, so because I have a life and already had something planned for that particular day and couldn't be on the phone with you on that particular day, we could always schedule something else. This is, another time. This is what I was thinking in my mind. I'm like, There are other days in the week. And so I didn't even bother to respond after he sent that message back talking about, oh, I knew you weren't serious, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? I do not have time for this insanity. So, yeah, you ladies, y'all be careful on these dating apps, and do not let any of your well-meaning friends talk you into signing up on any of these apps. Now, there have been some men and women that have some success stories. You know, they met the one, got married, and, you know, lived happily ever after. That is great. I always like seeing people in love. So I just wanted to throw that out there. There are some success stories from these dating apps. But just like there are some success stories, there are truckloads of guys on these sites that are just weird. They got truckloads of issues, and they are just, yeah. I mean, it's hard enough. It's bad in real life trying to meet decent guys, but when you go on these sites, it's like, oof. You gotta weed through tons of trash, because that's mostly what's on there, trash. So please, do not let any well-meaning friends or well-meaning family members push you into doing something that you might not be ready for, or that you just don't want. Some women need to realize it's okay to be single. There's nothing wrong. Oh, excuse me, guys. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a cat lady. And some of the other stuff that people love to say about women that are single, especially older women that are single. I love being single. I love my own company. When I'm ready to go out with a friend, go out to dinner, go shopping or whatever, I do that. But I love my own company. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. Oh, girl, you're too pretty to be sitting at home. You need a man. You need to do this. You need to do that. Blah, 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 blah. I let all that crap go in one ear and out the other. And again, ladies, do not let any of your well-meaning friends or well-meaning family members push you into doing something. Now, if you choose to sign up to one of these apps because you're looking for some companionship, that's fine. Let it be your choice. And please, please be careful. Make sure you do all of your research. Don't be desperate just because you want to be able to go out here and tell people, I got a man. I got a man. My auntie used to say, that's not a man. That's nothing but breath and britches. Because one thing I've seen in 2026, it's real hard to find a real man. Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of little boys running around out here in men bodies. You run into narcissists. You run into mama's boys. They got mommy issues. Just be careful, ladies. Especially you women out there that have children. You don't need to just be bringing any Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jerome around your kids. Even if your kids are grown. That is dangerous. That is a recipe for disaster. I just want to shake some of you women, because some of you guys, oh, excuse me, some of you guys are just so desperate. Stop it. There's nothing wrong with being single. You might be out shopping or out getting something to eat or whatever. You could just be out somewhere and you might run into somebody and y'all hit it off and he be your husband. You just never know. Stop being desperate. And if you get on one of these dating apps, be careful. Don't let one of these guys force you into meeting up somewhere. Hell, even if you meet somebody and you want to hire a private investigator, I think that would be money well spent. Just do whatever you have to do to protect yourself. Because there are too many crazies running around out here in real life and especially online. Because you know, when you get online, people can easily lie. Well, I think that's about it. I can't say it enough. Be careful, ladies. Be careful when you're out meeting somebody in real life, and be careful when you're meeting somebody from one of these dating apps. All of them, not just one or two or three, all of them. Whether you going on Tinder, oh, and remember, Tinder, that reminds me, there was a killer on Tinder. So yeah, Tinder, Bumble, and I forgot names of the others, but there's a ton of dating apps out there. But just be careful. Whichever one you choose to sign up on, just be careful. There are so many weirdos and crazies on these sites. Anywho, that's going to be it for today, ladies. I enjoyed talking to y'all. I really missed y'all. I really missed y'all when I was out sick. But you know, life be life, and sometimes I'm feeling much better. And you'll be hearing my voice more and more. I hope you guys enjoy these episodes. And I will talk to you guys later. This is Dietra D. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Dietra D Show. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.